Okay, good day. So we will go with our last and final topic for midterm. Analyze the importance of the principles of mechanics in marine engineering with our course outcome number 1. Okay, so learning outcome 1.4. Analyze the application of mechanics in the field of marine engineering energy, centripetal forces, sliding friction moments. Oy, bakit iba tong, ano ba tong nasa picture sa likod? Ito ba yung work, power, and energy na sinasabi nila? Okay, supplemental application of mechanics in marine engineering. Topic 1, work, power, and energy. Topic 2, centripetal force, sliding friction, and moments. Okay. Uy, parang nas overpower nito ah. Okay, next. Okay. So, first, A, work done in springs. So, springs are used in marine applications such as shock absorbers, valve springs in engines, and safety mechanisms in machinery. So, this is an example of a um, safety valve. Meron spring sa taas na yan. So, pag na-overcome niya yung setting sa spring, so mag-open siya kasi nag-overpressure na yung boiler mo ng steam. So, magbubukas siya. So, Hooke's law applies. F is equals to Kx, where F is force, K is a spring constant, and X is extension or compression. So, work done in a spring is given by 1/2 times spring constant times extension or compression to the power of 2. So, example, valve springs in a 2-stroke diesel engine. So, may mga spring yung valve na yan sa taas, di ba? So, yung spring, so valve spring in a 2-stroke diesel engine store and release energy to maintain proper valve timing. So, yung spring sila yung magko-close. Kasi, yung magbubukas sa valve na yan, magtutulak sa kanya is itong camshaft. Pero babalik siya ng kusa kasi may spring siya. So, ito yung safety valve. Pag nag-overpressure, bubukas siya. Parang ganito. Nag-overpressure dito sa linyadang to. Nag-overpressure. So, aangat yung spring and then lalabas doon yung overpressure na yan. Okay, work done in springs. Next. Lifting loads. So, work is done when a force moves an object in the direction of the applied force. So, force times distance cosine theta, direction of the applied force. So, applications, lifting heavy engine, components with cranes or hoists on board. So, itong crane, may picture tayo dati, dito na inaangat niya or na yung piston na grabe yung bigat is kinukuha niya. Okay? So, application, lifting heavy engine components with cranes or hoists on board. So, ito yung mga crane natin. Ito, engine room crane. And then, factors such as friction and mechanical advantage of pulleys affect the required effort. So, dito, may pulley dyan. Merong and then, dito, nilagyan niya ng grasa para mabawasan yung friction sa mga wires. Ano pa? Okay, definition of, so okay na tayo doon sa work done in springs. Okay, power and reciprocating engines. So definition of power is the rate of doing work expressed as work over time. So reciprocating engine power. So a 2-stroke diesel engine on your vessel converts chemical energy into mechanical work. So yung chemical energy ng combustion, kino-convert niya into mechanical work sa ating makina. So the formula for indicated power is equals to mean effective pressure, PMEP, times the length of stroke times the area of the cylinder times the number of cylinder. For example, dito 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 6 cylinder yan. Times N, which is the RPM niya or yung hertz niya, kung gano'n siya kabilis umikot, divided by the factor. So yung factor natin is factor kung ilang ikot yung makina mo per combustion. So dito, so 1 complete revolutions per combustion yung 2-stroke, so 1 yung factor mo. Pero kung 4-stroke ka, which kailangan ng 2 ikot bago makapag-produce ng power stroke, so yung factor sa 4-stroke engine is 2. Okay? So PMEP is mean effective pressure. So A is piston area, L is stroke length, N is number of cylinders, and then is small n is the speed of rotation. So while brake power accounts for energy loss to friction. So given by brake power is equals to 2 pi n torque over 60 where T is torque and N is RPM. So, pag yung indicated power is siya yung power na na-create during combustion. Pero pag dumaan na siya sa mga different friction, mga brakes, mga losses, mga heat losses, at iba't ibang mga losses pa yan, so yun, nagiging tawag sa kanya is brake power na. Ibig sabihin, may losses na. So, yung power na napupunta doon sa propeller, yun na yung brake power ng engine. May bawas na. Hindi na puro. Okay, example, the ship's main engine must generate sufficient power to overcome resistance forces. Ito yung resistance forces, yung mga dagat, di ba? Resistance forces yan. Yung, ano pa resistance forces? Yung weight ng barko mo, di ba? So, yung mga losses mo. So, yun, mga resistance forces like friction, wave drag, while optimizing fuel consumption. Yun, maraming ginagawa yung engine natin. Okay. The types of energy in marine engines. We have chemical energy. Diesel fuel combustion releases heat. Thermal energy. Heat is converted to mechanical work by expansion of gases. And then kinetic energy. Moving pistons, rotating crankshaft, and propeller movement. Okay, efficiency considerations. Energy losses occur due to heat dissipation, friction, and exhaust gases. Improving efficiency via turbochargers, intercoolers, and waste heat recovery systems. Example, waste heat recovery system use exhaust gases to generate additional power, increasing overall system efficiency. So, wala tayong picture dyan. Meron lata? Ayun, meron pala. So efficiency consideration, yung fuel energy natin is, hindi lahat is nako-convert to work or energy. Yung iba is napupunta sa power, brake power. Yung iba is na-loss due sa exhaust heat. And then, yung iba na-loss 10 to 35%, nag-loss doon sa coolant, lubrication, and other heat loss. And 2 to 10% is through friction and pumping. So, kailangan yung mga energy na ito is somewhat maibalik din natin, di ba? So, yung iba ginagamit is yung exhaust gas is dinadaan nilang turbocharger para yung turbocharger naman sa kabilang side is higop ng hangin para mas maraming hangin yung maibigay niya sa engine. So, parang ganun. Those are examples of energy recovery. Turbochargers, intercoolers para mas mabawasan natin yung init. So, nalagay sa intercooler para mas lakas yung mas marami yung hangin na may papasok mo sa engine pag malamig yung hangin. So, this is an example of a turbocharger. Yung exhaust mo, siya yung magpapatakbo nitong ating turbine. And then, lalabas siya doon sa funnel. Habang, since ang turbocharger is connected lang sa isang shaft, yung kabilang side naman iikot. Kasi umiikot na yung exhaust side mo, turbine side mo. So, ikot din yung compressor side. Sa compressor side naman, higop siya ng fresh air mula sa environment, and then, hindi dun sa funnel, dyan lang sa loob ng engine room. And then, ipapasok niya ng charge air cooler para mas malamig. So, mas malamig, mas compact yung hangin, yung molecules niya, mas marami yung maipapasok mo na molecules ng hangin doon sa ating combustion chamber. So, mas malakas yung power na makreate during combustion. Kasi pag yung hangin mo is hindi mo dinaan ng cooler, so expanded na siya kasi mainit na yung hinihigop ng compressor natin. Diba? So, expanded na siya. So, pag expanded na, kunti na lang may papasok mo sa loob ng ating combustion chamber. So, pag maliit lang yung hangin or yung volume ng air na papasok sa combustion chamber, mahina din yung combustion na makikreate niya. Okay? So, this is an example of waste heat recovery. Kahit basura na, waste heat na, nagiging nagamit mo pa. Okay, another kind of waste heat recovery is this one. Yung exhaust mula sa turbocharger, wala na yung silbi, di ba? Pero dito, ginagamit pa nila. So, yung exhaust na yan is dadaan dito sa loob ng ating economizer. Tapos, sa economizer naman, yung init ng exhaust is yun yung nagpapakulo ng ating tubig. So, yung tubig na yun, yung steam na yun, is ginagamit naman para makapag-preheat ng fuel, makapag-preheat ng ating shower, or kung ano mang gagamitin na for heating purposes. Diba? So, yung exhaust mo, basura na, pero nagkagawan pa ng paraan para maging steam. So, yung tubig dito, dadaan sa tubes, tapos yung tubes is dinadaan ng mainit na exhaust, so magkakaroon ng steam. So, ito. Yung steam na yan, yun ginagamit for heating purposes naman. Or Ito ata yung steam turbine, yung economizer natin or yung exhaust gas boiler natin. And then parang ito ay scrubber to. Ito yung nagpapalinis ng exhaust para paglabas is malinis na. Okay, next. So that's it for work, power, and energy. So our next topic will be centripetal forces in marine engineering. Okay, so break for 5 seconds. Okay, let's start the next topic already in centripetal forces in marine engineering. So centripetal force is the force that acts on an object moving in a circular path. So itong blue, yan yung centripetal force. Itong pagpalayo yung persa, yun yung centrifugal. Or itong pagpapasok naman is centripetal force. Acts on object moving in a circular path directed towards the center of the circle or the axis of rotation. So this force is essential for maintaining the object's circular motion. So the formula for centripetal force is equals to mv squared over r, mass times tangential velocity over the radius of the circular path. So in the case of flywheel, the force required to maintain a rotational motion at a given speed is provided by the centripetal force, which acts on the rotating part, typically the flywheel's rim. Okay, so a flywheel is a rotating mechanical device used to store rotational energy. Ito yung flywheel. It consists of a solid or rim disc that spins around an axis and helps smooth out fluctuations in energy supply or demand. So flywheels are used to store energy during periods of excess mechanical energy and release it when demand increases. So flywheels are widely used in systems that require smooth and consistent rotational speeds, such as engines and power generation systems. Okay, so the energy storage. Flywheels store kinetic energy through the process of rotational motion. So this is the flywheel. So the flywheel spins, mechanical energy is stored in the form of rotational kinetic energy, which can later be released to do useful work. So the energy stored in a flywheel is given by the equation energy is equals to 1/2 times inertia times the angular velocity to the power of 2. So the moment of inertia depends on the mass distribution of the flywheel, with larger flywheels and those with mass at the rim being more effective at storing energy. So centripetal force in flywheel. So in a flywheel, the centripetal force acts on the rotating mass. So ganito kalaki yung flywheel. Sa maliliit na maliit ba to? Medyo malaki-laki na rin yung makina. So ganyan kalaki yung flywheel. So the faster the flywheel spins, higher angular velocity, the greater the centripetal force acting on the mass at the outer edges of the flywheel. So the force must be strong enough to prevent the flywheel from breaking apart due to the high rotational speeds. As the flywheel gains speed, the centripetal force increases, keeping the system stable. So design considerations for flywheels. The stress, so ito naman yung flywheel mo. So the stress on the flywheel due to certain centripetal force is a critical factor in its design. The materials used must be strong enough to handle the high forces at high speeds, often requiring advanced alloys or composite materials. So flywheel size and mass distribution. A flywheel size and distribution of its mass impact its ability to store energy. So flywheels with mass concentrated near the rim or larger radius are more efficient in storing energy as the moment of inertia increases with the square of the radius. Next, we have here the governors. Definition of governors. Dapat pala nilagay ko dito is crocodile. Hindi naman pala crocodile yung mga governors. Okay, so a governor is a mechanical device used to regulate the speed of an engine. So nandito meron yung mga adjustments. So it automatically adjusts the fuel supply or the engine's power output to maintain a constant rotational speed, compensating for changes in load. So governors are commonly used in internal combustion engines, steam engines, and other mechanical systems where maintaining a steady speed is critical for performance and safety. Okay, so definition of governors are often used to ensure that the engine operates at an optimal speed, adjusting power output based on the load conditions to prevent overspeeding or underspeeding. So tinesting nila yung governor. So the purpose of governors is to maintain constant speed under varying load. So this is especially important in marine engines where engine speed fluctuations affect the vessel's propulsion efficiency and safety. So as the load of the engine changes, the governor adjusts the fuel flow or mechanical inputs to maintain a constant engine speed. So anong pagkaiba ng generator na governor at nung ating propulsion engine na governor? Ito yung propulsion natin, yung main engine, and then yung generator natin is auxiliary engine. So yung kaiba nila is the governor for propulsion is variable speed. So load or speed, whichever is higher is controlled. So is controlled. So load or speed yung kinokontrol, whichever is higher. No droop setting, and it is used for load, scavenge pressure, and torque. It has load limiter, it has scavenge pressure limiter, and torque limiter. While sa generator naman, iba yung kanyang governor kasi hindi siya variable speed governor. Yung kanyang ginagamit is constant speed governor. So speed control governor, so sinesense niya yung load and speed sensing but speed control, and then may droop setting siya, tapos load limiter lang yung meron sa kanya. Wala siyang torque limiter. So constant speed kasi yung generator natin, mini-maintain lang natin yung 60 Hz natin. So dapat constant yung speed niya doon. So pag medyo nag-start ka ng aircon for example, medyo bumigat yung makina, so mabibigatan siya, so babagsak yung speed niya. So yung gagawin is magdadagdag ng fuel para ma-maintain niya yung yung speed ng ikot ng generator. Okay, so centripetal force and rotating governors. So governors typically consist of a rotating flywheel. So yung flywheel niya is nandito. Yan, may ikot yan. Ito, konektado yan sa drive shaft. Yan. So lahat ng yan nasa loob, yung nandito is umiikot yan. So our set of centrifugal weights. Ito yung centrifugal weight. Itong may circle na yan. Dalawa yan. So these are flyweights. Yan, yung flyweights na yan. Yan yung centrifugal weights that are subject to centripetal forces as they rotate. So the force that acts on the weights or flywheel is responsible for the governor's action to regulate the engine speed. So pag mabilis tumakbo itong ating governor, so itong ating flyweight is matatapon palayo, di ba? Pag matapon yan palayo, magbibigay siya ng supply naman sa ating fuel na ibababa niya yung fuel supply doon para bumalik yung speed mo to normal. Tapos pag medyo mabagal naman yung ikot niya, so yung flyweights mo dito is parang hindi siya matatapon palayo kasi mabagal yung ikot mo, so papasok siya. Pag pumasok na siya doon, magsisend naman siya ng signal sa fuel na magdadagdag ng fuel para mabalik mo from low speed to normal speed yung engine mo, to regulate the engine speed. So the force that acts on the weights or flywheel is responsible for the governor's action to regulate the engine speed. Okay, so this is an example, simple diagram ng governor. So itong governor speed rod, ito. So pag mabilis yung ikot niya, sulat natin. So pag mabilis yung ikot nito, mabilis yung ikot nung thrust bearing, nung speed rod, mabilis yung ikot niya, yung mangyayari, yung ito, flyweight mo, ganun, magiging ganun. Natatapon siya palayo, di ba? Sa bilis ng pag bumilis bigla yung ikot. Yan. Pag naitapon yan, ang mangyayari is itong rod mo is aangat, di ba? Magiging ganun. Aangat siya. And then itong siso na yan is aangat din. Then babagsak yung kabila kasi parang siso siya. Meron siyang pivot, di ba? Tapos pag bumagsak dito, yung fuel rod mo is babagsak din, mababawasan yung fuel supply mo. Parang babara yung fuel supply mo, babawasan. Pag nabawasan yung fuel supply mo papunta sa engine, babalik yung ikot niya, hihina yung ikot niya hanggang sa bumalik siya sa normal na RPM niya, and then pag naging normal na RPM niya, babalik din siya sa normal na flyweight position niya. Parang ganyan, naka 90 degrees. So magno-normalize na yung RPM mo, and then pag bumalik na yung flyweight dyan, babalik din yung position ng ating siso sa gitna, and then magbubukas konti yung fuel supply para maintain niya lang yun, yung speed. Okay? Tapos, baliktarin naman natin, pag yung nangyari is humina yung ikot ng speeder rod mo o ng power device mo, pag humina ikot niyan, mangyari itong flyweight is papasok sa loob kasi mahina na yung ikot niya, hindi na siya masyadong may tatapon pagilid, di ba? So, papasok siya, centripetal force na yan. And then, yung parang correction mo dito sa thrust bearing is bababa. So, bababa yung thrust bearing mo. Pag bumaba yung thrust bearing mo, bababa yung siso. Pag bumaba yung siso, angat yung dito sa may fuel supply, mas open siya, and then mas maraming fuel yung papasok sa engine. And then, babalik niya sa normal yung RPM mo. Pag nag-normal na, so babalik siya sa kanyang original position. So, ganun kasimple lang yung ating governor. Okay? Huwag nyo nang pahirapan yung sarili mo. Ganun lang kadali. Okay? So, if ever may tanong pa kayo, you can comment. You can ask me personally sa school. So, doon i-discuss natin. Okay? Thank you. So, formula for centripetal force in governors. So, Fc centripetal force equals to mv squared over r. So, let's go with an example. May example ba? Wala pala. So, different types of governors. We have the centrifugal governor, ball and spring governor, and hydraulic governors. So, speed regulation marine designs for governors. So, ito. So, nakita natin, ito umiikot itong ating flywheel, di ba? Tapos, dyan meron tayong RPM sensor. So, sa RPM sensor niya, makikita ng ating governor kung gaano kabilis yung ikot ng ating makina. Mas mabilis yung ikot ng makina, magsisend siya ng signal doon sa ating fuel pump. Dito ba yun? Dito pala. Dito, magsisend sa ating fuel na konti kung mabilis yung ikot, magbibisend siya ng signal sa fuel na bawasan niya yung fuel na binibigay niya kasi masyadong mabilis na yung makina mo. Tapos pag medyo mabigat naman or pag mabigat yung makina, magbibigay siya ng supply para compensate niya yung bigat. So para ma-maintain lang natin yung speed natin. Tapos pag medyo gumaan naman yung makina, so syempre babawas siya ng fuel para ma-compensate din yung gaan para hindi naman mag-overspeed yung makina mo. So, ganun. So, ito yung parang governor niya. So, the governors are critical marine diesel engines to maintain consistent engine speed. These engines are often under varying loads due to changes in sea conditions, navigation requirements, and cargo handling. So, by using centrifugal governors, the engine speed is kept constant, ensuring the ship operates efficiently. So, for example, if the load the engine increases, the governor will sense the reduction in speed and adjust the fuel supply to maintain the preset engine speed. Okay, kung naka full speed ka, full speed lang. Kung naka half speed ka, maintain niya lang yan. Okay? Using the governor. Okay, so sa electrical side naman, ito yung parang connection niya. So yung fuel mo, papasok ng fuel valve, papasok na engine, tatakbo yung engine mo, and then ikot na yung engine mo, pati yung flywheel, ikot, pati yung generator, ikot, di ba? Kasi connected yung tatlo. And then dito, meron tayong speed sensor, masisense ng governor kung bumibilis ba yung ikot mo or bumabagsak. So, pag bumibilis yung ikot, yung governor mo is magsisend ng signal sa actuator para yung actuator, babawasan niya yung supply sa fuel valve. So, siya yung nagko-control ng fuel sa fuel valve. Diba? So, pag mabilis naman yung makina mo, so, yung governor, magsisend siya, mabilis ka, so, magsisend siya ng signal sa actuator, uy, bawasan mo dyan kasi masyadong mabilis ito, baka masira yung makina mo. Okay, so, minimaintain natin yung RPM. So, ganun lang kasimple po. Okay, safety and performance. Governors help prevent overspeeding, which could damage the engine, or underspeeding, which could cause loss of power and performance. So, in critical systems like marine propulsion, the governor ensures the engines operate safely within its designed limits. Okay. So, makita natin dito, ito yung normal speed mo. So, naka 90 degrees. Tapos, pag nag-overspeed siya, lumalayo yung flywheels mo. Kasi masyadong natatapon siya. So, ganun. So, a governor's regulation of engine speed ensures that the engine runs at an optimal efficiency point. By preventing fluctuations in speed, governors help minimize fuel consumption and reduce emissions, contributing to both economic and environmental efficiency in marine operations. So, this is the speed sensor. Ito yung nakakabit malapit sa flywheel. And then, nagsisend siya ng signal dito sa kanyang controller. Tapos yung controller naman is connected din sa governor mo. So, yung signal dito, dadaan dyan, papasok niya dito, and then yung governor, magsisend naman signal ulit para dito, uy, bawasan mo. So, siya naman, magsisend dun sa, so, dito lahat ng control. Parang electrical control niya. So, the governor's ability to smooth out variation in speed helps reduce mechanical stresses on engine components, prolonging the lifespan of the engine and improving the overall reliability of marine systems. So, advantages of governor in marine engine. So, ito yung controller niya. Nandito yung actuator. Dito yung supply yung actuator mo. Dito yung pick-up sensor mo o yung RPM sensor mo. Nandito extra battery. Para pag nag-brown out, meron pa rin supply. And other. So, ito yung droop and other idling. So, nandyan. Lahat ng connection sa governor mo at sa engine mo. So, advantage of governors in marine engines, precise speed control. Governors provide automatic and reliable speed control, ensuring the engine operates within a safe and efficient range. Increased safety by preventing overspeeding. Governors protect the engine from potential damage. And maintaining a constant speed improves fuel efficiency and reduces unnecessary consumption. Okay, so challenges naman sa governor is mechanical wear and sensitivity to load changes. So yan, pwede naman nating kontrolin yan through this mga speed droop, speed setting indicator, and load limit. So dyan, pwede natin gamitin yan. Okay, so that's it for reciprocating and governors. Okay, so our next topic will be sliding friction with cutters, wedges, and square threads. So ano ba yun? Ano ba yan sila? So sliding friction. So understanding sliding friction marine engineering. So friction impacts performance and efficiency significantly. So sliding friction concepts, hull resistance, propeller efficiency, and lubrication techniques. Uy, parang aeroplano nandito. Hindi barko ah. Okay, sliding friction engineering is connected to propeller efficiency and hull design. So impacts energy consumption and vessel speed, affects drag and overall performance in water. So understanding friction leads to better performance in marine design. So let's go. So what is sliding friction? Is the resistance encountered when two surfaces move against each other. So it is governed by the coefficient of friction, which depends on the materials in contact and the normal force acting between them. In mechanical system, controlling friction is essential to optimize performance, reduce wear, and improve efficiency. So the formula for sliding friction is coefficient of friction times Fn. Okay, so in marine system components like cutters, wedges, and square threads, experiencing slide friction in various mechanical linkages, bearings, and connections, the understanding and managing this friction is crucial for efficient energy transfer, reducing wear, and ensuring the longevity of moving parts in engines, gears, and structural components. So, other than cutters, wedges, and square threads, meron din itong piston, for example. Tapos, meron siyang friction dito sa ating liner, di ba? So, habang nag-move siya up and down. So, may sliding surface dyan, may friction dyan. So, para ma-minimize natin yan, lagyan natin ng lubrication. Okay, cutters and cutter joints. So, a cutter is a tapered flat device used in mechanical system to fasten parts together like this one. So, as you can see in the picture. So, pinafasten niya, sa loob ng makina, meron din ganyan. Nilalagay yan para hindi mag-move yung ating, mag-adjust yung ating mga nuts sa loob habang tumatakbo yung makina mo. So, a cutter is tapered, flat device used in mechanical system to fasten parts together, especially in shafts, rods, or bolts. Cutters are typically inserted in the hole and secured with a nut or bolt to prevent movement. So, yan yung mga. So, it offers frictional resistance para hindi umikot yung ating o magsiluag, di muluag, tawag dun. So, di muluag ang atong nut. Okay. So, example marine cutter joints are used in marine engines and mechanical linkages. So, dito sa taas, meron tayong, ito yung lock niya para ma-secure natin yung spring at yung parts ng valve, hindi siya parang ma-separated from each other. So, meron tayong valve cutters dyan. So, cutter joints, that's an example of cutter joints. So, the friction between the cutter and the parts helps prevent unwanted movement, but it also introduces wear over time. So, proper lubrication and material selection are essential to reduce excessive friction and wear in this joint. So, meron tayo dyang valve cutters. So, yung iba tawag dyan is valve lock or retainer lock. Okay, so if the friction is too high, it may make assembly or disassembly difficult. So, too little friction can lead to failure in securing the components, potentially causing mechanical failure in marine systems. So, another naman is, ito yung cutter. nandito yung valve keepers niya. Yan. So, valve keepers naman tawag. So, nandyan yung cutters. Next, we have wedges. So, wedge is a simple mechanical valve used to split, lift, or secure components by converting force applied along the length of the wedge into a force perpendicular to its surface. So, wedges are used in numerous applications such as in tightening bolts or lifting valves. So, dito, pag tinighten mo yung bolt, yung wedge dito sa baba is magbubuka siya, so magkakaroon ng lock. So, these are example of wedge anchors. So, yung iba naman is dito, naglalagay sila itong wedge, wedge to. Yan. So, naglalagay sila ng wedge para dito at dito is mag-fix. Hindi siya ma-move. So, in securing yung mga dala mong kargada sa barko. Hindi ko alam kung anong kargada to, sinisecure nila. So, para nilagyan nila ng wedge sa baba. So, in a wedge, friction plays a significant role in its ability to apply force and maintain its position. When a wedge is driven between two surfaces, sliding friction between the wedge and the surface interacts which resists the motion. So this frictional resistance is critical for ensuring that the wedge stays in place and does not slip under load. Meron din namang sinasabi nilang wedge kit. Ito naman is iba naman to. Ito yung sinasaksak nila sa mga butas. For example, may tumatagas sa butas ng tangke. So lagyan mo ng kahoy na wedge. Pasak mo dun sa butas para hindi na mag-leak. Okay, the force required to drive a wedge into place increases with the friction between the wedge and the surfaces. So in marine systems, wedges are used in components like ship propeller shaft couplings, where friction between the wedge and the contact surface ensure a secure connection. So iba naman to is, wedge socket. So itong wedge socket na dito nilalagay para ma-secure nila itong pulley nandito or yung hook na ito. Ma-secure nila yung pulley nandyan. So para ma-secure, hindi in case na maputol tong itong wire dito, so hindi mahuhulog itong ating pulley. So ito yung parang pang-secure niya, wedge socket. Another example in marine engineering ng wedges, for example, meron tayong yung sa mga bulk. So meron tayong dito tank cover, ito naman tank cover, and then para ma-secure mo yung dalawa, ito at ito, para ma-secure mo, ipapasok mo itong green na dyan, yan yung cross wedge natin. Ipapasok natin yung cross wedge para itong kabilang side ng ating bulkhead is mag-fix doon sa baba. So magkakaroon na ng hindi nagagalaw itong ating bulk. Saan ba ito yun? Ito sa mga tali ginagamit din nila secure. So wedges. Ito another example ng wedges naman. So ito parang ganito yung wedge niya, and then pinapasok niya dyan, and then nilalagyan ng bolt. So doon sinisecure itong drum na ito. Parang flat sheet metal ata yan na nakarolyo. Okay, next we have the square thread. So ano naman square thread? Ito yung mga thread, usual ng thread natin, di ba? Itong yung metric, parang ganito yung thread, V-type, di ba? Unified. Meron naman ganito na sa mga screw, may mga ganito na mga thread, may mga ganito. So, meron din natawag na square. Ito yung square thread. Yan. So, bakit square thread? Kasi square. Ganun lang. Okay, bakit merong square thread? Merong parang hindi naman square thread, di ba? So, square threads are a type of threaded fastener characterized by their square-shaped profile. They are used for heavy-duty applications where high strength is required and efficiency in power transmission is essential. So, square threads are commonly used in screw jacks, winches, and marine steering system. So, the mechanics of power screws, yan. Ito yung mga power screws na yan, pero yung ginagamit nila na threading dyan is square thread yan. Yan. Hindi masyadong malapitan. So, square thread yan. So, ang purpose ng square thread is mas malaki yung kaya niyang force na kaya niyang ma-absorb. So, gamit siya as power screw. So, it's a device used in machinery to change the angular motion into linear motion. So, the sliding friction in square thread occurs between the mating surface of the thread profile as the screw rotates. This friction plays a crucial. So, square threads are designed to minimize friction and maximize the mechanical advantage. However, sliding friction still exists between the thread surfaces, and this must be managed for smooth operation. So in marine systems, square threads are used in steering mechanisms and lifting mechanisms and winches. So yan, kita mo parang yung thread niya is square talaga. Hindi siya yung parang V-type, di ba? So mga maintenance natin sa ating square thread is una-una lubrication. So nilagyan natin ng langis yung thread para hindi masyadong masira. Pero pag yung equipment mo is nasa labas, usually prone sa weather condition, sa ulan, sa init, so yung nilalagay is hindi langis, so grasa, ginagrasahan yan. So para ma-reduce natin yung friction, so material selection, the material of the thread should be chosen for both high strength and low friction to maximize durability and efficiency. And continuous friction leads to wear, and over time the efficiency of square threads can degrade. So regular maintenance and proper lubrication are key to extending the surface life of this component. So ito naman is mini-maintain niya, sinusukat niya yung distance ng ating mga ang tawag diyan, ating mga thread, and then hinahanap niya yung tamang sukat ng panglinis ng thread. Ito 'yon. At tapos nililinisan niya yung thread gamit tong, hindi ko kalimutan ko yung name ng equipment na yan. So yan yung panglinis ng thread hinahasa niya para mabalik natin yung tamang sukat ng thread niya. Okay, so for ito naman dito sa steering gear yan. So ito yung parang ginagamit nila. So in marine engines, switches and steering system, managing sliding friction in components like cutters, wedges, and square threads is crucial for ensuring smooth power transmission and reliable operation. So for example, screw jacks that adjust the ship's rudder position use square threads, where minimizing friction is vital to avoid excessive energy loss and to ensure smooth operation under variable loads. So yan, parang screw jacks yan. So this is an example of cutter joint naman. So ito, another example of cutter joint. So friction management in components like cutters and wedges ensures that the parts stay secure under the dynamic forces encountered in marine environments. So sana din wear resistant din yung mga material. So ito yung ginagamit nila pag test ng wear resistance ng isang material. So pinapadaan nila dito sa track, and then depende kung gaano kabilis yung velocity ng ikot ng ating track. So mas mabilis yung ikot, tapos mabilis lang din siya mag-wear, so mababa yung wear resistance niya. Kailangan tumagal siya. So materials that resist wear such as hardened steel or special alloys to ensure longevity and reduce maintenance needs. Okay, advantages of sliding friction in cutters, wedges, and square threads. So power efficiency. Properly managed friction in square threads improves power transmission efficiency, which is critical lifting and adjusting heavy marine components. So ito, cutters din pala tawag dito. Nag-connected yung dalawa using this one. So parang may bolt sa gitna. Cutters din yan. So secure connections, cutters, and wedges by using sliding friction, providing reliable fastening and positioning in marine systems. So durability. When friction is optimized, components like wedges and square threads can last longer with minimal wear. Okay, that's our third topic. So this will be our last topic, moments. Marami din pala to. Okay, for moments. So a moment, also known as torque, is a measure of the rotational force applied to an object. So it describes the tendency of a force to rotate an object about a specific point or axis. So mathematically, a moment is the product of the force times distance times sine theta. So moments are crucial when you see your crush. Ay, parang may mali. Making eye contact with your crush. Ganito ba dapat? My reactions when my crush walks into the room. Ganyan ba dapat reaction mo? When your crush is in the same room. Gani, grabe yung ngiti ng bata. Di ba? Ay, mali pala to. So moments are crucial when you see your crush. When you see your crush. Ay, wag nyo nang isipin yan. Mali yan. Baka kinikilig naman kayo. Okay. So moments are crucial in marine engineering, rather, because many systems such as engines, steering mechanisms, and lifting equipment involve rotational motion. So understanding how moments act on different parts helps engineers design more efficient, safer, and reliable systems. See, it also ensures that forces are properly distributed to prevent excessive wear, improve maneuverability, and maintain structural integrity. Okay, so moments, ano yung moments? So ito yung force times distance. So pag ikot mo ng ng ating wrench, so ikot din yung ating nut. So this is the moment. Ito naman another moment, yung hammer mo. Moment, hinila mo dito, so natatanggal yung nails dito. And then sa baba meron tayong tinatawag na torque wrench. So torque wrench, meron yung torque meter dyan. So nababasa niya, or pwede mo iset yung torque mo, gano'ng kalakas yung higpit mo sa mga nuts and bolts mo, para hindi masyadong sumobra naman higpit, di naman maganda yun. Okay, tools that utilize moments. Many tools, both manual and mechanical, use moments to perform their function. So these include hand tools like wrenches and screwdrivers, as well as large mechanical tools in marine systems such as cranes, winches, and steering mechanisms. So a wrench uses the moment of force to apply torque to a bolt or nut. So the longer the handle of the wrench, the greater the torque. So pag mas mahaba itong hinahawakan mo, so mas mahaba, mas malakas din yung torque na na-produce. So, may formula dyan. Pag dito lang, hinawakan mo 1 meter, 1 meter times 20 Newton is 20 Newton meter lang. Pero pag 2 meters times same force at tapos yung force mo is mababa lang, 10 Newton lang, hindi ka masyadong nag-gym. So, 10 Newton lang kaya mo. Pero yung distance mo naman is 2 meters. So, same pa rin doon sa taong nag-gym na 20 Newton yung kaya niya. Diba? So, mas lesser yung effort mo dito, pero same lang yung force na na-apply yung dalawa. O torque pala. Okay, so this is an example of a torque wrench. Yung torque wrench natin dyan, meron yung mga measurements. So, kung gusto mo, for example, yung, ano ba dito? 0, naka-0 siya. So, naka-10. 10 Newton, 10 foot-pounds pala to. So, 10 foot-pounds yung torque mo. So, i-set mo dyan, and then, gamitin mo na doon pang ikot ng mga nut mo. So tapos bigla yan magki-click or may tunog yan, click. Pag click na yon, so hanggang doon na yung torque na yon. Huwag mo na lagpasan kasi lalagpas naman siya sa setting mo. So in marine engineering, winches are often used for heavy duty tasks such as securing bolts in engines or maintaining ship propellers. So the moment produced by the wrench helps achieve the necessary torque to prevent loosening or over-tightening of critical components. So there are different kinds of torque. May analog. Dito, mayroong click wrench, slip wrench, mayroong digital. May digital yan. Okay, so paano gumagana ba yung torque wrench natin? So meron yan ditong parang itong pula. Tapos, depende sa ikot mo dito, sa setting mo dito, kung gano'ng kalakas yung torque. And then, pag hila mo nung wrench mo, yung sa loob dito is pag na-move siya, parang ganyan, umikot siya, nagki-click yan. Pag click niya, ibig sabihin, tama na. Na-set mo na yung, o na-reach mo na yung torque limit mo. Okay. So, ganun yun. So, same lang yan dito. So, itong gitna is nagki-click yan. Okay, methods operate based on the lever principle where a force applied at a distance from a pivot point, creating a moment that causes rotation. So by increasing the distance from the pivot lever arm, the moment increases, allowing the tool to perform tasks that would otherwise require a greater applied force. So in shipyard, cranes use large arms, levers, to lift and move heavy objects. So the moment created by the force of the crane's motor and hydraulic systems ensure that the load is lifting efficiently. So ito, kaya niyang umangat ng mga, grabe yan, lalaki niyan, di ba? Ito, buong makina, inangat niya. Diba? Ito, buong part ng barko, inangat niya. Ito, buong barko talaga, inangat niya. So, ito, hindi na to shipyard. Ito, mga shipyard yung nasa taas. Pero ito, barko na talaga to. Pero, sa sobrang bigat ng inangat niya, para siyang lulubog. Diba? Grabe. So, this is one of the largest ship crane na makikita mo. Kayang magbuhat ng barko. Grabe siya. Grabe siya. Okay, effect of moment on tools. So, di na to shipyard cranes. Tools na to. Effect of moment in tools. So, pag yung tool mo is medyo kulang pa para mahigpitan yan or matanggal yan kasi sobrang higpit naman pala, gusto mong tanggalin. So, para mas hindi ka mahirapan, lagyan mo na extension. Yan. Pag nilagyan mo na extension na ganyan, so mas konti lang pwersa mo gagamitin para mahigpitan or maluwagan mo yung bolt or nut mo. Okay? So, extend mo yung para konti na lang yung force na i-apply mo kasi same lang naman yung torque nga gagamitin mo. So, increasing the lever arm increases the moment, allowing tools to handle larger forces with less effort. So, less effort na lang, mapapasayas mo na siya. Diba? So, however, the material strength and design of the tool must be considered to prevent structural failure. So, wag mo namang baka naman sobra din sa pwersa, so para din masira yung material mo. So, overloading a tool by applying too large a moment can cause damage. So, engineers must ensure the tools are designed with the correct specification for the expected load. So, hindi naman to masyadong ginagamit kasi delikado din to. So, meron namang mas mahabang mga wrench. So, yun ang gamitin mo kung wala. Okay? Okay, so in moving parts, moments are critical for controlling rotational motion. So, components such as crankshaft, ito yung crankshaft, propellers, ito yung propellers, and gears, so ito yung gears, experience moments as they rotate. So, translating the applied forces into movement. So, a crankshaft is rotating. So, alam natin yung crankshaft. So, may moment dyan. Yung propeller, alam natin, may moment dyan. Diba? Kasi umiikot dyan. And then, these are gears and transmission. So, yung gear, ano ba yung gear? So, for example, ito yung engine mo. Tumatakbo at certain speed. Tapos, yung RPM lang ng propeller mo is nasa 100 lang. Tapos, yung engine mo is tumatakbo ng 1,200 RPM. So, yung ginagawa is, nilalagay natin sa ating reduction gear para ma-reduce yung speed para yung RPM lang ng ating makina o ng propeller is, sabihin natin, nasa less than 100 lang. Tapos, sa kabila naman, meron din connection, yung RPM mo, 1,200, tapos yung RPM ng shaft generator mo is 2,000, for example. So, lagay man natin sa kabila, so lagyan natin ng mas maliit na gear, so mas mabilis yung ikot dun. Diba? And then, habang tumatakbo yung main engine mo, may propulsion ka na, may generator ka pa. So, ibigay ng supply ng kuryente sa buong barko. Okay, steering mechanism. So, in marine engineering, the rudder is controlled by a steering mechanism that generates a moment to rotate the rudder. So, sino ba ang nagko-control sa ating steering mechanism sa rudder? So, kung makita natin, tao lang pala yan, nandyan. Pero sa ngayon, di yan pwede kasi ang bigat niyan, di ba? Hindi kaya ng tao yan. Ito yung makaluma siguro to, panahon pa ni Alexander the Great. Okay? So, dyan, ang nilalagay na dyan, hindi na tao, kundi steering gear na. So, the steering wheel or joystick applies a force to a system of gears which generate the necessary moments to rotate the rudder. So, the design of the steering system must ensure that the moments applied are sufficient for the rudder to steer the vessel effectively. So, yung kapitan nasa bridge na, and then magsisend lang ng pag-ikot ng wheel doon sa taas. So, move din yung rudder sa likod through the steering gear. So, the rudder system in a ship must be designed to handle the moments generated by the applied force of the steering mechanism. So, the torque required to move the rudder depends on the size of the rudder, the speed of the ship, and the water condition. So, ito, sabi ni Kapitan, ano ba to? Kabila, saan ba papunta yung ikot niya? Port? So, pag sabi ni Kapitan, ano tawag daw? Turn, ano pa tawag dito? Super turn? Or hard turn? So, pag hard turn ni Kapitan, syempre, bangga yung chicks. Ganon yung diskarte dyan. So, ito yung barko sa baba. This is aircraft carrier. And then, nagro-rotate siya ng sobra yung port. Hard turn niya sa port side. Nag-hard turn. Dito naman is nabangga. Hindi nakapag hard turn kaya nabangga. Okay, another moments, lifting and hoisting system. So marine lifting systems such as winches and cranes. So ito yung winch natin, yung tali na yan dito yung lalabas, and then yun yung magsisecure sa barko para yung barko hindi ma-move palayo ng ating terminal. So nakadikit lang yan dahil maraming mga tali nakatali yung barko. Malaking mga tali yan. So this is the winch. So, they use moments to lift heavy loads. The winch drum, when turned by a motor or manual input, so motor-driven yan, generates a moment that pulls in the rope or cable lifting heavy cargo or ship component. So, yung barko hindi na makakapag-move palayo. So, in ship, cranes are often used to move heavy equipment materials. The moment generated by the crane's arms allows it to lift and move large loads. So, ganito kalaki yung kaya niya. Oh, malaki din. Kaya niyang iangat. Okay, design consideration for moment. So, when designing tools or moving parts in marine engineering, engineer must consider the maximum moments that can be safely applied without causing structural failure. So, this involves selecting appropriate materials, ensuring the correct geometry, and using components that can withstand high torque loads. So, sa barko, minsan yung barko na dahil sa under pressure siya, may tendency siya na mabali, di ba? So, to prevent that, yung barko natin is meron siyang mga pressure transducer nandito forward, meron siyang mga strain gauge yan. So sa lahat ng parte ng barko may mga strain gauge siya, so i-check niya kung merong sobrang stress or strain na nangyayari doon sa part na yun ng barko. And then pag na-check nung ating mga officers, uy, sobra yung strain dito or bababa yung strain dito, so ibabalanse nila yung kanilang load arrangement, yung kanyang ballasting, para malagay lang natin sa normal yung kanyang strain. So may mga limitation din yung strain ng barko. Dapat hindi sumubra. Okay? So may mga sensors yan. So chine-check yan ng ating chief mate or ng mga officers natin sa barko. Okay, for efficiency, properly managing moments helps in improving the efficiency of mechanical systems. So for example, in a propeller system, optimizing the torque transmitted from the engine to the propeller ensures a maximum thrust with minimum fuel consumption. So yung mga propeller natin, meron yung torque sensor, thrust sensor, blade torque sensor, and balance weight para ma-optimize natin yung ating propulsion with minimum fuel consumption na rin. So, impact of moments on wear and durability. So, excessive or poorly managed moments can lead to wear, fatigue, and failure. Kaya mayroong mga babae para i-correct. Ay, hindi pala babae. Engineers pala. Okay, mali. So, may mga engineers. So, regular maintenance and monitoring are required to ensure that moments are within safe operating limits, especially in high-stress systems like engines, gears, and other equipment. So, parang yung mga lalaki lang, di ba? Pag nasa-stress, nakita ng babae or ng chick, so, nawawala yung stress and fatigue nila. Paras ba yan? Parang hindi ah. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of our topic for midterm. So I hope you learned something. This is a very long video. So you might as well watch it by topic na lang. Huwag nyong idiretso pag-watch ng buo. Kasi pag binuo nyo yung pag-watch niya, buo yung watch, so parang wala may papasok sa utak mo. So by unti-untiin mo lang pag-watch para hindi masyadong mabigat, hindi masyadong mataas yung fatigue at stress na matanggap ng utak mo. Okay? So I hope you learned something today, and I hope to see you on our next moment. Bye.